morning, good afternoon. I hope everyone is well. The snow is melting. Maybe spring is on its way. I hope everyone is well out there. I appreciate you tuning in to Maslin Museum, to the virtual yoga. If you'd like to support the museum and continuing programming, please go to the Maslin Museum membership or donation page and make a contribution to the local museum. So let's find our breath. Sitting up tall, dropping our shoulders, elongating our spine, making sure our sits bones are stationary on your mat or blanket. And let's do just some deep cleansing breaths. With the inhalation, feeling your belly button go in towards your spine, filling up your lungs, and exhaling, emptying all that air out of your lungs, deep into your belly. And again, feel that belly button pressing through to the back of the spine. Inhaling, filling up that belly button, filling up the chest, feeling the energy go up, elongating the spine, holding it at the top, and exhaling. Emptying it all out, filling that belly, go back towards the spine, and then start with another deep inhalation, filling up the belly, the chest, elongating, seeing how tall you can get, dropping your shoulders, noticing the stacking of your shoulder blades, and exhale. Nice. Let's take our fingertips out and we'll tent them and begin to walk out to the front of our mat, over our knees, taking our gaze down at the floor, bowing to the floor, nice forward fold. Inhale, coming up, taking the arms out to a T, up overhead, hands to prayer, and heart center. We're going to be working on energy today. Sometimes mid-afternoon, we get a little lull. Maybe we need a second wind. And these are some good exercises just to go through if you can't get outside and take a walk. So let's walk our fingertips out again. We'll do this a few more times. Taking them, bowing in, taking a couple cleansing breaths. Coming back up, taking our arms wide, up overhead to prayer and to heart center. Let's change our legs, putting the other leg in front, taking those arms walking them out, taking a nice couple inhalations and exhalations, folding into that front. Taking the arms up overhead to prayer and to heart center. Folding forward again, folding over those legs. Nice forward fold. Coming up, spreading those arms wide, up overhead and back to heart center. Nice. Taking our left hand over our right knee, taking our gaze, nice trunk twist. Breathing into that. Breathing. Maybe taking that gaze over the left shoulder and go back and forth from left to right, from left to right. We'll do that one more time. Coming back to center, taking that right hand over the left knee, twisting, elongating that spine, taking that gaze from the left to the right, left and right. Nice. One more time. Taking our arms wide. And let's take our shoulders, cross our elbows around. See if we can interclasp. I've got my right elbow on the bottom, clasping my hands. Nice strength. And if this is where you are, or even if this is where you are, that is fine. Progress, not perfection. Let's take that. Now I had my right arm underneath. Now I'm going to put my left arm below my right elbow and twist. Twisting that, feeling, again, you can be here, you can be here. Every day is different. So wherever you are today, feeling that nice stretch. Maybe I can even look through my hands, feeling that nice stretch through my shoulders, taking those wide, placing my right arm, right hand down, taking a nice twist over to the left. I've got some resistance in this arm, so I'm not just flopping. I'm actually putting some resistance and pushing into that. So taking a couple cleansing breaths. One more. Dropping my left arm down, taking my right arm overhead. Again, I'm putting some resistance in that palm as if the palm of my left hand is going towards that window. Nice resistance. Coming back, both hands behind, taking my legs out. Let's go up into a reverse table. Pushing up through, taking that gaze, feeling that extension in my shoulders, pushing through my heels, looking up and gazing at the sky. We'll come down, extending those legs long, extending those legs long. If you happen to have your blocks, I don't have mine handy today, but if you happen to have your blocks, you can put them out on the side of each of your shins. Let's do a forward fold, bending and folding. Inhalation, coming up, exhalation, bending down into that forward fold. If you can take the soles of your feet, go ahead and do that. Coming up, either grabbing ankle or a shin or a toe, and taking that right hand or right arm around and taking that left hand back. Taking your gaze over to the left. Again, maybe you just have your hand on your knee or your shin. That's fine too. Nice extension. Both legs are activated. Let's forward fold, bend in, fold into that. Breathe. Exhale, forward fold. Coming up, taking that left hand either at the ankle or the shin, around your toe or the bottom of your foot, and open up, taking your gaze out to that right side. Both legs are activated. Nice twist. Coming back into a forward fold. And just notice as you go down into this forward fold, do you have a little bit more extension? Do you feel like you're stretching? Maybe this time you can go down to your ankles. Maybe the bottom of your feet. Stretch into it. Very nice. Slowly coming up. Bringing that right leg up with you. Put it in the inside of that thigh. Inside of that thigh. We're going to walk our hands out to the front there. Certainly welcome to stay here if you'd like. If you'd like to walk down a little bit further, certainly can. If you have your block, put your block under your forehead, or you can just extend as if you're watching TV. Nice extension through the inside of this left leg. It's engaged. Feel a nice stretch through that leg. Slowly coming up. Bringing that knee up inside. Hugging that knee. Taking that gaze over. Also extend that arm up. So you can hug the leg, or if you'd like a little bit more of an extension, you can take that elbow on the inside and press that elbow and that knee together. Hug. Taking that right leg down, bringing the left leg in to the inside of that right thigh. Walk the hands out. You're welcome to stay here. If that's a nice stretch for you, this leg should be engaged. If you'd like to go a little bit deeper, feel free to do so. You might notice one side is a little bit more forgiving. You can put your head on a block, or you can put your head in your hands. Feel that stretch on that right inner thigh. We're going to transition from here up until tabletop. And we'll do some cat and cow. Getting that heart, getting some energy going. Exhaling. Inhaling. Moving through these movements. As you do cow, notice too your knees and the palms of your hands coming together. And as you go into cat, as if your hands are pushing away from your knees, to really exaggerate those movements. Just notice pulling together, pushing away. And let's rock forward and backwards just a little bit. Open up those wrists and arms. And let's point these fingers towards each other. And let's do a little rotation clockwise. We'll do this 2 or 3 times. Clockwise. And when you get back to the top, let's do counterclockwise. Opening up those wrists. Very nice. Taking the hands, we'll place them back. Taking that right hand and the left hand, putting them a little bit closer together. Taking the right hand up. And then taking it through, but we're not going to stay. We're going to do this a couple times. Coming down on that ear, taking it back up again, coming back down, taking it through, underneath, behind the left hand, coming down on that ear, taking it up one more time, and this time we'll stay in that position on that shoulder. Unfolding from that, and we'll do the same with the left arm. So take it up, bring it through, tap that ear, come back up, bring it through, tap that ear, one more time. This time we'll stay with that needle threaded, taking that right arm up overhead. Nice stretch through those shoulders. And then we'll come back up to table. Let's push into our first downward dog, tucking those toes. You don't have to extend the legs all the way. You can walk them out. Play with this first downward dog. How does it feel for you today? Maybe different than it felt last time you were in downward dog. Push through, maybe shake your head. Say yes, no. Shake it up a little bit. Bringing your knees down. Let's get some energy, taking those arms up, overhead, to prayer, to heart center, and let's go into child's pose. So taking those toes together, knees apart, extending the hands out, we'll go into child's pose. Couple cleansing breaths here. Coming up from child's pose, tucking our toes, squatting down, splaying our knees open. Again, getting some energy into our afternoon. Finding a nice balance. Slowly putting your hands down, walking those feet together. Forward fold. Halfway up. Forward fold. Taking your arms up, coming up slowly. Hands overhead to prayer and heart center. We'll walk up to the forward or the front of our mat. We'll do some forward folds and move through some warrior. So, follow along. Hands up overhead. Swan dive down, forward fold. Grab your wrists. Rock back and forth. Now let's exaggerate and bend our legs. Bend our legs. Fold into this, fold into it. Placing your hands on both sides. So make sure you're folded enough that you're placing your hands on both sides of your feet. Stepping that right foot back. Now again, you can be like this in a low lunge, or you can take your knee down. So whichever you pleasure, okay? So you can be like this, or you can be like this. If you're like this, we're going to take those hands overhead. If you have your knee down, you will be like this, okay? So knees down, hands to prayer, heart center. We're going to take our right elbow to our left knee. So we will bend and twist, taking that gaze over to the left side. Holding it, nice balance. Back up, hands overhead, hands to frame that left foot, bringing the right foot back, forward fold, halfway up, forward fold, bending, Bringing the arms up overhead to prayer and heart center. So I bet you know what we're doing on the opposite side. So let's go. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to bend, placing that chest on the knee, on the thighs, stepping that left foot back. Again, you can be low lunge. Take your knee down, arms up overhead to prayer, heart center. Take a bow and a twist over to the right, taking and balancing. Do not hold your breath. Untwist, arms overhead, frame that right foot, step the left foot together, forward fold, slight bend, up overhead, and back down. Very nice. Very nice. Mountain pose. Arms overhead, forward fold, step back, arms up overhead to prayer. Again, your knee could be down. Fold forward, taking that gaze over the left side. Back to center, arms overhead. Frame that foot, bringing the right foot back into the left foot. Forward fold, halfway up, forward fold, coming up, hands overhead to prayer and heart center. What we do on one side, we do on the opposite. Arms up overhead, forward fold. Step that left foot back. Again, it can go down. Arms overhead. Hands to prayer. Forward fold. Twist. And open it up to the right. Take a couple cleansing breaths. Do not hold your breath. Arms overhead. Frame that right foot. Bring the left foot back in. Forward fold. Bend. Halfway up. Forward fold. And coming up with those arms overhead and to heart center. Shake those legs out. Shake those legs out. We'll do some balancing. Okay, so for balancing, we do a lot of lifting and lowering. And I'm going to encourage you to hold on to something if you'd like for balance. I'm going to use my credenza here. So I'm going to lift and lower starting with my right leg. So lift and lower, lift and lower. And I'm going to take my left arm, left hand, grab my right knee. Taking my right arm up. Taking my right arm across and open. If I need to hold on to something, I certainly can. I'm taking my gaze. I'm holding on to the door frame for balance. Again, I can hold on to my credenza or I can take it up overhead. So, nice balance. If you'd like a little bit more of a challenge, you can actually take that hand out towards the toe as if we were doing it as we were sitting down and take it out. So, whichever is your pleasure, you can start, lift and lower, start on your knee, take your hands overhead. If you'd like to take it to the next level, taking that foot in your hand. Sometimes you can do it, sometimes you can't. Anyway, okay, you're getting the gist of it though. So now we'll do the left side and lift and lower. Taking that right hand and that left knee, taking the arm overhead, opening it up to the side, taking that gaze. Again, if you have something to help with the balance, great. If not, I'm going to take and just use the side here, taking that left leg out and holding that overhead. You know, you could just try. It's not perfection. It is a journey. It is a practice. A little bit each day. And sometimes it feels great. Other times it's a little bit of work. But okay, let's shake that out. And we'll come to our mat. Come to our back. Extending our arms up overhead. Let's do a Y. Taking our legs mat distance apart and dial them left and right. And left and right. And as we come over to the left, let's bring the right arm over, and let's do the same as we go back and forth, just gently massaging, and we'll bring that to a halt. Next time, it's open. Knees up, taking that right leg up, crossing it over the left knee, rocking it back and forth. Back and forth. Arms can be out to a T, they can be on your belly. And then taking that left leg off the mat, grasping your hands behind that left leg or in front of the left knee, bringing it to your chest and breathing into that. Feeling that nice stretch, unfolding, taking that leg down. Let's sit up in an invisible chair, taking our arms out to a T. And let's just hold this for a couple counts. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Setting that right leg down, crossing the left knee over the right, and let's rock that back and forth. And we'll bring that to a halt, bringing that right leg off the mat, coming in for a nice figure four. Both legs, the feet are flexed, pulling that right leg in for a nice stretch. This is just like a pigeon you would do. There's a lot of different variations for pigeon, and I find as I get a little older, this is much more accommodating for my body shape. So we'll unfold that, bring both feet down. Let's sit in that invisible chair again, putting our arms out to the side. We'll hold that again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's tap, 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 tap. A couple more times, one leg at a time. In your chair, tap, tap. If you'd like to do both at a time, it's a good lower stomach. So we'll bring that to a halt. Let's hug those knees in, rocking side to side, rocking. Nice. Building up our lower back, and I'm going to put my hands on my belly so you can actually see how I'm rocking my pelvic bone up and back down. How about if I put my hands behind my head? So what I'm doing is I'm actually lifting and lowering and rocking, putting a nice arch in my back, and then moving through this movement, kind of one vertebrae at a time, very deliberately, very deliberately. Really stretching, extending, having a nice curve in underneath. It's hard to see, but I could stick my hand. And then I'm rotating up, lifting as if I'm going into a bridge. So rocking back and forth. Getting the juice through in between those vertebrae. Pushing through my heels, lifting my coccyx bone, my pelvic bone off of the mat. Pushing into my spine as far up as I possibly can go in my thoracic part of my spine. Taking my lower lumbar and most of my lumbar off of the mat. Pushing, pushing, pushing. And we'll bring that to a close. Nice, nice. Taking our legs up, let's hug. Let's hug them, rocking side to side, massaging that lower back. Nice. Extending, pointing, and really extending as long as we possibly can make our spine. Really stretching and releasing. Taking our arms up overhead, taking both legs over to the right side. Feeling that nice stretch. Taking it back to center. And then taking it over to the other side for a nice stretch over to the other side. Breathing into that. and back to center. And getting ready for Shavasana. So if you'd like to shake your legs out a little bit, stretch back, notice your shoulder blades. Let's take our hands and our feet and our fists and let's flex them. Really grab and flex and make a really tight ball and then release. And let's do that one more time. Let's really flex. This time, let's even flex our face. Like, see how tight we can get the muscles in our face. And release. And one more time. How many muscles can we engage in our body? And release. Into Shavasana, corpse pose, yogic sleep. And start to find some movement. If you'd like to stay in this, feel free to stay here. You can find a little movement. Start to take a little movement, maybe a stretch overhead. Slowly coming up to a seated position. Elongating your spine. During the day, if I find myself running out of gas or steam in the late afternoon, oftentimes I will go through these movements. Gives me enough energy to get me through the balance of the evening, taking our arms wide, up overhead, to prayer, and to heart center. Thank you for joining me today on this yogic journey. The teacher and student in me honors the teacher and student in each and every one of you. Namaste.